like this.
What's good, y'all? Yo, I don't know why I do that, but Mila says I am such a fucking bird because I be starting the podcast. What's good, y'all?
Really?
What's good? Yo, one episode I started, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode.
Ew, Orlando.
I'm a bird at nature.
Just be singing everything.
Yo, the pigeon, the New York bird came right the fuck out of me. I don't know. I do that and I keep fucking with the mic when I start the podcast. I don't know why.
I used to do that. Now I'm one of the people like, let me sit on my hands. Cause
what do I do with my hands?
Right.
What do I do with my hands?
It's okay. It's going to be fine. It's okay.
It's fine. No hair, bobbing it. Oh man.
My God.
Welcome. Well,
Thanks
first let me introduce
me.
you. Welcome the beautiful, the wonderful Farren herself. Please, if you have anything else to introduce yourself as, please go ahead.
It's just me. Shit.
It's just you?
It's just me.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy to have you here. You are going to be leading off our women's version of the Men in Love series. So the Women in Love series. And, you know, when I was doing this series where I decided I want to sit down and talk to the men that I know and find out the origin of their love story and just hearing and learning more about how we are all so different but also so similar with our black men as far as like our upbringing around love and like how it like sits with us right now. Right. I realized that I needed an update of like women these days, like of like women in their more mature phase. I didn't really have it so much when I was a kid. Like my mom I don't think was a very loving figure outside of like how she viewed love to like my dad or wanted my dad. And then as I got older, I would listen to my friends and my homegirls and stuff like that. And then I feel like at some point I was like, okay, I think I got it. Ready to date.
Right.
But I'm realizing now at this tender age of 33 that I might need to have more conversations about women now that I'm getting closer to marriage.
You're teasing ass.
Yeah, right. Why nobody likes my rollout? Yeah.
Yo. He's like, maybe it's going to be this date. And he gave no update. They come and go. Nigga, did it? What happened?
But I'm realizing that as I'm getting closer to marriage, I need to probably have more conversations with grown women in essence or within the realm of real love and their origin of their love and how it just like operates and shows up for them these days. So thank you, love. Thank you for pulling up. And honestly, you're one of the people who I may not talk to as often, but I feel comfortable speaking to you as if like I just spoke to you yesterday.
Listen, I was about to say, you saw, I was like, my stomach hurt. You making soup? You bring me some?
I got you. Your stomach hurt? I got soup. Boom. Perfect.
Yeah. My origin story is a little weird in the way that I saw all the ways I did not want to be.
Wow.
And I took it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very similar to me.
Really?
I saw a lot of things, and it was only in my immediate family because outside of like my actual mom and dad, everybody around me was like affectionate, showing love to some degree. You know, black people black people in the 90s, like to only some degree they're showing some type of love. But as far as like the tumultuous relationship between my mom and my dad, I be saying that word a lot. I don't know if it's a real word.
It is.
Okay.
You're doing it good. You're doing it so good.
But this tumultuous relationship that my mom and my dad have, it wasn't what was showing me love, but I would get love from like aunts and uncles, and I had a big family, so aunts, uncles, cousins, like family members. I was like, whoa, this is great. And then I'll go back home. And my mom has stressful ass.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you in your household growing up as far as like love and marriage?
So that it did not exist in my house, much like Tahir. It did not exist at home so much. I think I saw my mom date, but they were like not even serious, because she had been abused as a child. So she was very, very strict about having men around her girls. And being a single mom of 2 women, she was just like kind of swore off dating.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I didn't.
You had a sister?
Yes, I have an older sister. So she pretty much like swore off dating for the most part. And so I didn't really see a relationship modeled. Which is crazy because it kind of helped.
Really?
In the way that now I see like the work that has to be put into like worthy relationships, no matter what the dynamic is, it's all the same. If it's important to you, then you need to nurture it. If it's not, then you let it go. Like it's basically that simple. So you still need to communicate. You still need to show interest, be supportive. Like whether you're my sister, my mom, dad, husband, like the things that you have to put into relationships are pretty much the same.
Very much so true. It's like all the foundational pieces are like pretty much like
not having it and just seeing it done in a less than like effective or even meaningful way. It was like that's not what I want.
It's so interesting that you say that it was helpful, because Mila and I, we had a friend, have a friend who she said that she wouldn't date or she wouldn't bring her dates around her kid because she wants her child to see her with somebody, not necessarily like just the dating part, because what if they come around and they're not there anymore? And what we told her was, maybe your child should see that. They should see all the dynamics that come with dating or with being with somebody. And they should see, like, you can meet people and you can have a time and experience with them. And then it can go away and it is perfectly fine. So I see that it's interesting that you say that it worked out, like your mom not having like people around that much.
Right.
And you learn it in a different way.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I just realized because she didn't give it there, she I seen it just kind of a lacklusterness in other areas because she wasn't giving it there. And usually people like try to balance it, try to overcompensate somewhere else. She was like just not really giving her all anywhere. And it's like, wow, this area of her life needs just as much attention as this one does, and she ain't giving neither one of us much. So in the way of like just really nurturing the relationships and being like truly to her core supportive. It was more obligatory actions, like this is just what I'm supposed to do, not coming from a loving place.
How was that with like your relationship with was it just you, your sister, and your mom mostly growing up? How was that with like growing with your sister?
My sister and I like legit hated each other until I was like in college.
Okay, that's strong.
Because she was just like angry about like just the situation. My dad wasn't there anymore. Like he left when I was really young. They split when I was really young. And so she just grew up angry. And so we did not get along. And then once I reached adulthood with her, and she had to do some growing of her own, we just kind of came together and was like, we gonna do this different. We see so much drama between my mom, aunts and uncles and stuff, and my grandmother. Like, it's just drama and bitterness, and it was like, man, we breaking that fucking cycle. Like, we can't. So we started actually working on our relationship as sisters, and just being intentional about like really sealing our bond, because it was not modeled for us, which is why I was like, it kind of helped not having it, because it helped me realize like, oh, this is a choice, this is intention, this is like how a loving relationship is supposed to be cultivated.
Yeah.
And
you saw the absence in it, and you made you recognize how important it is.
Find a need, feel a need, I guess.
Find a need, feel a need. And I asked about your sister because, you know, it's pretty important for a child or a little girl and her mom to have a certain type of relationship, and then also important for her, like her and her sister, to have like a specific type of relationship. And so to hear that you're growing up in one space where your mom may not be, where your mom was showing or not showing something, or having a lacking of love in one place, which may not seem to be the most positive. And then also growing up hating your sister, who also may not seem to be the most positive.
Right.
It's like, well, that's a very interesting like household to grow up in as a little girl.
Yes.
Especially being the youngest.
Yeah, and it was just like generational stuff. My mom and my grandmother did not get along at all. And so and my mom was the oldest of like 13 kids or some shit like that. Not all of them made it. I forget the total, whatever. Yeah. But my mom was the oldest, and her, they didn't get along. Yeah. And then my mom and her oldest kid didn't get along. And so like I literally was like, remember trying to feel that daughter space for my mom, trying to be that like, oh, she not good in school, then let me, you know, exactly, you know, on the honor roll again.
Yay,
like, you
look,
know,
mama, did it.
Yeah. Oh, she, you know, joined a sport and quit. Well, I'm joining and I'm going to stay in it until forever. Like, you know, so I just found myself doing that. Yeah. So it was a weird space.
Did you ever feel like you find yourself like trying to fill your mom's love space?
I feel like I did for a short time, but because I did not swear off men. Not even once I had my daughter, I didn't swear them off. So because I was still dating and I still had partners, and sometimes every once in a while in a relationship, I still had to like keep that line there, and that's like also helped me realize like how much like anger and like unresolved issues were still there because of the energy that she would give me in my relationships. And so it was a lot of seeing what could be done better. Yeah. Instead of that's so crazy. I just had this conversation with my daughter a couple of days ago. But yeah.
Oh, I guess that's a good segue into, well, now it's a much different relationship with you and your daughter now. And how would you say it's different between you and your mom in comparison to your daughter and you?
I operate like, because my feelings are like, my actions pretty much display how I feel to my core. I can't hide it. If I don't like you, my body will literally reject your presence. If I fuck with you, then I'm going to walk past you and I'm going to hug you like weed. Like that. It's and everywhere in between. Like it's literally like levels to how I unfold with people. So my relationship with my daughter, even from a baby, like once I realized like, yo, I love this kid, because it took a little while. It wasn't immediate. It ain't immediate for everybody. It took a few weeks. But once I was like, yo, I love this person, you know, I was all in. And so the decisions I made, what I did, it wasn't out of, oh, I got this kid, let me take care of it. It was out of, I love this baby. So even growing up, I did not have a voice as a child. So I overcompensated with my kid because I'm like, I had thoughts and feelings and nobody asked me anything as a child. So from the moment my kid was able to speak, I'm like, what do you want? You know, down to if I'm going out for the night, before I arrange a sitter, I'm like, where do you want to go? Or this person is available. Are you okay? Because I was in situations where I was not, but I didn't have a say in it. So it's just, and now it's like, it has bitten me in the ass over the years that I gave her a voice, and because she uses it against me, and I have to accept it because I'm like, you know, she is legit her own person. And the older she gets, the more I'm like, doing what mama say is less and less important. So when she, like, now she operates out of a love, I want to show up for this person's space. Yeah, that's my little nigga though.
That's the homie.
That's my homie.
Well, growing her before I guess Tahir is like fully integrated in the picture, it was just you and your daughter. Was there any fears about like repeating a cycle? Seeing as like your mom was a single mom herself?
This is the part that came up with my kid, because I was very afraid of her lacking what I felt like could have been done differently for me. I was like, and so I kind of like hyper focused on those areas when raising hers. I was like, so it's some things that it's like, probably could have been more, you know, more in tune in this area. But at least she ain't got the trauma that I got, and we actually close. So, go back to your question, though. I want to make sure I'm answering you.
Was there any fear about it just being you and your kid, you being a single mom?
No. I never worried about that. I was never so, like, gung-ho, I have to be married, like this is a dream. I wasn't like that. It was like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I was still dating, you know, like I let her, she knew, she saw these things.
That must have been different.
What'd you say?
That must have been different. Like you're not seeing how you're supposed to like date while having a kid. You didn't have that example. So like I think doing it yourself is kind of like you just kind of winging it. Like, okay, I'm just going to have to do it differently. But also, how do I do it differently?
Yes, but it also, it helped in the way that it was all about how do I want her to perceive relationships. You know, whether it's friendship, whatever, like I said, because they all require the same thing, the same level of commitment, you know? So it's like, how do I want her to perceive this? Like, I'm walking around here miserable in a relationship. This is what I want her to see. So no, it's making the decision to get out of this relationship. It's going to be hard. I sat there and cried with my baby over some shit because I'm like, I'll put myself in this situation. Now it's up to me to get myself out of it. And talk to her about it like she was a little grown woman. She was every bit of 5. Like a little grown
Whatever
woman.
you say, mama.
Listen, like a little grown woman. I'm like, look, it's going to be a little different. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And it's like, do you have any questions? She would ask her questions, and then we would charge ahead. Like, look. But that's being able to do that and being in a situation where I could have that one-on-one with her was definitely like the the deciding factor in me not having any more kids.
Yeah, you're like, this one's
Listen.
killing it. This one's killing it.
Listen, like,
Well, What was your first love like?
First love. I think like legit love. I was in high school. And it was. I'm not even sure exactly now, and especially even when he and I broke up, like, you know, hindsight's always 2020. Yeah. So even when he and I broke up, I realized like I didn't even really understand what I was so, you know, in love with, honestly. But yeah, it was some little nappy head boy with braids on the football team.
Some little nappy headed boy.
Yeah, he cheated on me and got this girl pregnant.
Oh, right. He went hard.
Right.
In high school?
Yes.
That's what he gets for
cheating.
cheating.
And that was probably what it was more about. I was probably just more like hurt and kind of maybe embarrassed about that than maybe responding to love. Because there's no way in hell I knew what it was then.
You think
it's possessive at that age?
Yeah,
it can be, especially in that time for me. Like it was possession at that age.
Somebody has something that you had or wanted, right?
Or like you just feel like this person belongs to you, and they're supposed to understand that they're yours, and
because Tiffany told me that she's my girlfriend, so of course it means that she belongs to me. Why did she do that? Why did she hurt my feelings? This is a real person. She hurt my feelings.
I figured.
She hurt my feelings when I was younger. Why would she do that after she agreed to
Dirty
be in a
bitch.
loving marriage with me?
God damn it,
14.
At 14. Teenage marriage.
Yo. I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation right now. I don't know if you could tell how like comfortable I look.
Right.
What was your first heartbreak like?
Yeah, that was.
It was a nappy-headed boy.
Yeah,
that got her pregnant.
Yeah. That was like the first time I was like really just kind of devastated over a breakup, because I was never that little girl that did not like boys. It was always a thing. So I had my first boyfriend in like second grade.
You claimed it.
Right.
That's mine right there.
Listen, we together. You circled yes on the paper. I was the one asking them if they wanted to.
Yes, no, there is no maybe. Don't even look down here.
Maybe. Yes or no, I need definitive answer. Because if you say no, I got 3 more of these prepped for him,
right? I got 3 more classes, player. You better answer now.
But yeah, so I never went through that. But so I feel like that little nappy head boy in high school, was like my first, like I was devastated after the situation, cried, like called, was one of the few times I called my sister, because we didn't like each other around this time. Yeah. Called her because I'm like, all I got in this house is my mama, and I can't talk to her. So, yeah, that was, and it was because he got that girl pregnant.
Did your sister give you any sound advice?
Not really advice so much as just she consoled me. She comforted me. Like it wasn't an advice situation.
Oh, okay. It was just you just needed somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
It's never happened to me before. I know this happened to your ass before I talked to you.
Right. Like I was literally, I was in front row seat when this happened to you. So I just feel like she understood to my core how I felt. So, yeah. And so we didn't even like really, I don't even remember us really talking about it. It was like telling her like the broad strokes of what happened, and she just comforted me.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. She didn't really hate you that much.
No, she did.
Okay, never mind.
She totally did.
But I don't understand how somebody as lovable as you anybody can never hate.
I
someone
can.
Like that. Okay. Well, then tell me, what about you makes you so lovable then?
Now, I would have to say because.
Oh, all right. Wait. Let's switch this around. back then, what made you not so lovable?
I was very blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, I was very blunt, very little tact. If I thought it, I said it.
Were you one of those, like, but it's the truth kind of person?
Yeah.
But it's true.
But I be
Why
like,
can't
but where to lie?
I didn't lie, though.
Why everybody mad at me? Or it's like, it just crickets. Like, did she just? And it's like,
Fuck, I did it again. I told the truth.
But also, like, I would be like, if somebody was asked, like, you know, what do you love about Farren? It's like, that bitch honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to hear it, but
She
you know,
honest. It's the double-edged sword.
Exactly.
Double-edged sword for everybody.
Exactly. But I was definitely an acquired taste. So, and I understood that about myself.
Yeah.
Because that was just like one of those things. I knew there wasn't nobody going to like walk all over me. So I felt comfortable, and that's what I was raised in.
Yeah.
So that was one of those things I didn't see as a negative that I got from my family. So I was like, oh, I'm holding on to this tight.
Right, because if you're going to get cut by this sword, you deserved it because you're not about to hurt me.
Yes.
See how I did that? The double-edged sword? Go ahead.
But I did reel it in and learn how to have that, and with more tact.
Yeah.
Like, there's a way.
Of
Or
delivering.
sometimes, guess what? That ain't got shit to do with you. And just take a step back. You don't even need to say anything.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's saying enough.
My issue was I can always see the elephant in the room. And I'm always pointing out the elephant in the room. It's just like, but why are we hiding this? Let's tell the truth.
Yeah.
Transparency. I was transparent, and not that I saw transparency in everybody. I just wanted everybody else to be transparent.
Yes.
There was so much lying and sneakiness going around with my parents that for me it was just like, let's just tell the truth.
Yes.
There's an elephant right there. Why are we
people,
Why are we
like,
acting like it's not
dancing,
there?
like kind of trying to address it, but like sugarcoating and dancing.
Yeah,
Man, take the sugar off. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's get to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
but that was me when I was
my
growing up.
marriage is actually what stopped me from doing that.
Oh, from just yeah.
It's just out there. I'm just gonna say it.
No, you gotta.
And then I'm gonna say it louder if you give me something to drink. But I'm gonna say it regardless.
Me and you, we are right here, buddy. We are right on the same page. Okay, so that made you the bluntness was what made you not so lovable, but now in your adult years, what's making you lovable?
I feel like I think I'm a child. I try not to be. So, and I almost like said the same word back. That's why I was struggling. It's like, because I am like literally like lovable. I will just skip into a room. I'm all about like, I play far too much. I like making things awkward.
Yeah.
But I just like seeing people for who they are and responding to that, you know, and it's, but above all, I'm a child. I am goofy.
You're the younger sister at heart.
I am goofy.
Yeah.
I sit and think of ways to be annoying. That was one of the things that me and my sister, like, once we started to bond, that was one of the things that we bonded on, because we realized that both of us got so much fun out of annoying each other. And we would cackle our asses off, but we would just think of more ways to just be as obnoxious as possible. And now, like, still to this day, I will annoy the fuck out of you, but it'll also be like so endearing and so cute that it's like it's not gonna piss you off.
It's
not gonna piss you off.
That's what we get people about me. Like I'm a annoyance, like a poker. Like I'll just keep poking. Oh, you don't like this? I'm gonna do it 5 more times, play. But that's me, and it's to the point where people are like, you're annoying, but they can feel the genuine innocence behind it.
Yes. I am a child.
While you're writing out these yeses and noses to all these boys every period, trying to find one for yourself.
I just wanted somebody to show me his so I can show him mine. That's what it was all about.
So even if we're growing up and we're not really seeing mommy date or seeing mom in a love and like marriage space, what was like views on marriage for you when you were a kid, or did you look forward to marriage?
So for some reason, I always thought I would. Like, I felt like it was in my future. I just was not like looking at wedding dresses and shit. I just wasn't, because I was more like, I realized that so much stress and tension went into planning a wedding that I realized very early that it was never the wedding that I was excited about, and that's what everybody else was like. So I can't wait to get married because my wedding is gonna happen. It's like, dude, that's a couple hours. But I'm seeing some folks come together and the relationship is shit. So even as like, I think I went to a marriage seminar thingy or workshop, some visiting pastor at my church. And this man, like in the church, openly talking to people, and mind you, I was like 17. I was the youngest person there. I probably shouldn't have been there. But they were like, this is for our married couples, you know, that are here at the church, and for people who aspire to be. And I just wanted to know what the views were and everything. I was just interested. So I was like, I'm gonna go. And when I went, and he's like talking about, you know, still having sex and, you know, and not getting all, you know, washed up and out of it and stuff. And the church folks just couldn't handle it. But so I didn't have it modeled in front of me. It was literally like I was creating it as I grew and learned more about relationships in totality. So when Tahir and I got together and like decided we're going to get married, I told him like up front, I don't have the traditional views of marriage. We set what the rules that we want. We make this what we want it to be. So like, what do we want? And he had no idea how to answer that, because the only view he saw was his, you know, his aunt and uncle, I believe it was. Yeah. And they were like, you know, Bible toting, you know, like every other word was a prayer, like those type of people. So he didn't really have it modeled. I didn't have it modeled, but I'm like, I'm going to make some up.
It's funny because like marriage, dating, and love, like not having it right in front of you, but knowing that it exists really, I guess, kind of made you go like, I have an empty foundation where I can like develop this however I want. And it's like you just saying things like, oh, it wasn't there, so I just made it up as I went along. It's just so interesting because it's different than lacking and going out and looking for it just to try to like refill that like void or space. Your stance is, it's lacking, so I'll just make it up. And whatever it lands on, I guess that's love.
Yo, I literally had a practice relationship before I got married. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. I gathered, I legit sat and reflected on every second, my decisions, my thoughts throughout the process. And so when I was like in a position to be like, these are my views, like right now, it was coming from a place of, I've been here.
Yeah.
This is not just something. Yeah,
practice.
I had a practice relationship, a starter relationship, and I was like, I know I don't like this. I know I do like this. I'm looking for this. Can you do this?
Right.
So yeah, this. Wow.
Since I don't want to say make it up, but I do want to say customize because I feel like that's more accurate for what you were doing.
Right.
But since you had to customize love and like kind of define it for yourself, like how do you define love now?
Love, and by love you mean like love towards a person, or
towards a person.
That is valuing that person's role, or in just that person's role in your life so much that you are willing to go through the range of emotions, feels, and everything, as long as the end result is them still being there. So like I know what it feels like to just be estranged from a parent. And just being like, I don't want to deal with it. And that's because I realized that role and that person's role in my life was not that important. It wasn't valuable. It wasn't fulfilling. So I walked away, and that's what I had to do, and with a parent.
Yeah.
So, and there's like, and I think about that when I'm dealing with my own child, because I'm like, I care about whether or not you still want to even deal with me, especially because I know how bad parents can fuck their kids up. I'm a product of. So it's like, I'm so aware that she can just be like, you know what? My relationship with my mother does not serve me. Like, it's a drag on me as a person. I'm gonna walk away. But her in my life is so important to me that it's like, I can be angry with you and still love you and be focused on the end result of this, the resolution to this anger. The end result is that you are still a part of my life.
What I'm loving about answering you these questions is that usually everybody has some type of example that they can answer. And the answer that they give is usually them explaining the example that they've had in their life, but you is a bit different because you didn't have the example, and so your responses are more so, well, this is what I landed on, player. This is where I landed, love. Like this is what I got. So, but I do love that because I think that relationships should be less of the example you've seen and more of the customization that you come to create for yourself and what works for yourself. I mean, I think examples are good foundations, but I don't think they should necessarily be the stronghold that is what you create your your love or relationship off of. So yeah, I'm enjoying hearing your responses because it's really, this is me at my core. This is how I love at my core. These are my views at my core because I didn't have anybody to guide me in this type of way.
Yeah.
How do you love on someone?
More than anything, I think my biggest display of love that's like universal is that I seek to genuinely understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love seeing different points of views or just playing devil's advocate, presenting it. It's like, okay, I hear your view and I totally understand it, but I also can see very clearly the complete other side.
Yeah.
So let me help you see both so that you can make a more informed or
accurate.
It'll just help change your perspective.
Yeah.
You know, because perspective is everything. So yeah, I see things that way, and if I'm struggling to, then I talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, am I missing something? Like,
yeah, that is definitely me too.
I don't understand how you got here, you know. But yeah, so that's how the biggest way I feel like I show love across the board.
How is, from your point of view, how's love showing up for your kid now? Or that might be too general. Like, how is it from your point of view? How is it when you look at her, or you see how like she shows love, or how it may differ from you growing up or when you were a kid?
I feel like you're asking how she shows love, right? How my kid shows, or how it shows up for her?
How it shows up for her, how she shows it. Like,
Okay.
how is love just different for her than it was for you?
So that's like, oh my God, from what aspect? How it shows up for her, I feel like the really giving her voice and seeking to understand her. It's not this is how you're supposed to do it. I let her move, always have, because I tried the whole jump when I speak thing. I realized my kid operated differently than that. She was never going to jump right up. So in order to set us both up for success, it's like, I want you to do this. You have until this time to start, and it needs to be done, you know, like, so giving her parameters, you know, like just changing, because I sought to understand who she is. And she gives, you know, other people that favor as well. But the ways that she shows it, she loves to spend time with people that she loves. Like, she's a quality time and physical touch is her love language. Like, that's how she displays it. That's how she wants to receive it. And so she is like the affection queen.
Oh yeah.
Yes, like it's hugs. Like, she'll just stop what she's doing and I just wanted to come hug you. Right? And it's crazy because I was not an affectionate person. I was nervous to have a daughter because I thought I was going to ruin her. I was like, she's going to grow up. It's like unable to love because I feel like I am. And I don't know. I'm not a huggy person. Yeah. I wouldn't see my friends for a long time and it'd walk up to them like, hi. Like, I'm not hugging you. It was weird for me. Yeah. Now I'm like constantly like, bring it in. Yeah. And it's because of her.
Nice.
Needing that and like basically forcing it out of me. And still to this day, 19 and all, she is still number one source of affection.
Oh, I got a question I'm interested in knowing when it comes to you and your love. Not having a man in the household, right, and raising a daughter is obviously a stark difference than how you grew up. How has that been? Like having a man in the house, somebody you're married to, committed to, and now raising a daughter, whereas like you growing up, your dad necessarily wasn't in the house, same as your mom. How has that been?
Eye-opening.
That's a good word.
Eye-opening. Especially since, like I said, I had never been a mother before. I had been a babysitter. I had been a caregiver when my sister was sick, but I had never been a mother before. But so I'm like, jumping in, just like I've been saying, just customizing rules, figuring it out, knowing what I didn't want to display and what I did, like that's just how I approached it. And moving in with someone who is like just complete, like I don't even know where to start, so I'm not gonna start.
I don't know to do, time to do nothing.
right. I don't even know, like to it was very, very eye-opening in the way that it made me get comfortable asking for help. It made me more gentle in course correcting, because it was like I didn't want to model an ineffective way of communicating to either of them. Like I didn't want to be such a heavy hand on her, and then he's like, this is how I'm supposed to respond, so it was, I need to understand, because if I seek to understand, then that'll model how I want her to be handled to him. But then also I wanted her to see what a healthy relationship, what a healthy disagreement looks like, what healthy conversations, what I wanted her to see that. So in interacting with my husband, it was like, how do I want her to perceive this relationship, how she should be treated, what she should look for, how she can advocate for herself, how she can have a conversation and disagree and still walk away like just with a deeper understanding, like it doesn't have to end everything. And in that, though, I was with someone who was like, a disagreement is the end of the world. So I was literally trying to like model it and like facilitate it at the same time. But it made me more intentional with my communication, and it's like, am I being as clear as I can be? So that's why I'm like, it was eye-opening, because I'm thinking I'm this opinionated, just down for debate, but we don't have to fight. But I'm up for a debate. I want you to have a different point of view. Let's talk, type person, and get with Tahir, and he's like, oh, we disagree? Okay, then I'm out. I don't want to fight. Whatever you want, do it. And I'm like, no, like, let's talk. It's okay. Like,
it's gonna be fun, right? It's supposed to be fun.
Okay.
We gonna be all right. Damn, you just quit already? Take the ball and went home. Like, jeez.
So I wanted to model those things, like what I felt it should look like, and because I wanted to keep love. And the end goal still being that love being there at the core of everything, then it was like, shit, I need to be more, I need to change this, you can still express without being a bitch. So, because I thought they were interchangeable. You know, I was speaking. My mind was like, you gotta be a bitch. Like, but no, you don't. So, yeah, it really took some like changing how I communicate, learning how to more effectively communicate to the people that are in my life, because it's two totally different ways that they express and or want, you know, you to express love to them. So, yeah.
I absolutely love this. I'm realizing that in all my years in life of like actually enjoying listening to women and like sitting and listening to them like whenever with whatever they wanted, and just modeling and becoming a man that, you know, makes women feel comfortable, listening to them, giving them what they want in the sense of like, you know, they want to be heard, they want to be respected, like, and they want someone that's kind to them in that way. I never really got to know or understand the origin of like where some women are coming from in their own household, to understand them a little bit more and why they love and react the way they do. Like, I guess in my mind, I maybe had still the societal views of like what women in love should be like. Like, I'm loving on you. I'm not, well, I don't use not cheating. I think that should be a standard, but I'm loving on you. I'm treating you right. I'm being nice to the kid. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning. I'm being a man. You should just be happy. It shouldn't be shit to complain about. And I've come to just realize, like, you know, depending on where the origin of this woman's love comes from, if it's from their fathers, from their mothers, from the absence of both, then that could really direct how they respond to you in these times of what you feel they should be happy about.
Right.
And yeah,
it's like have you actually even found out what makes them happy? Like, you're just operating off what society told you to do.
Yo, and I'm recognizing that.
And because, you know, it's like we're all the same, but we're all so different. It's like we all need our needs met, but our needs are prioritized differently. Yeah. So that's where our differences come in. Yes, I love that you cook. I need to eat, but sitting, having just conversation with you and genuine, you know, close off the rest of the world time is what's I would prioritize over that. I could feed myself.
Right.
You know, but somebody else is like, you know, that's so important. I would need my partner to cook. That's very important to me because I had to cook all the time growing up. And like, so everybody, their priorities are different, but you know.
And that's one of the things I was telling Tahir when we were recording an episode for the series, was he was saying, you know, it was hard for him to, or challenging for him to get to the point of like physical affection and physical care and stuff like that. But he would always provide. And I was like, well, yeah, we got to provide some hugs too. Providing it about like what you could spend money on. And I think society has damaged our perspective on what it means to provide, right? We think it's more of a financial providing, and no, providing is in many different ways.
Yes. Emotional and psychological. Like you literally sometimes your partner is like therapist. Yeah. Sometimes they upset about something else and they just need to kind of just dump, you know, and sometimes that's you know, you need to have the bandwidth to be able to show up or to communicate that like, yo, I can't effectively be there for you right now. Today is not a good day to dump on me. Like,
not a good day.
So, but also being able to communicate that in a way that is well received, and it's like, you know what? I hear you. Thank you for telling me, because if I had done this and then you responded a certain way, then it would have
went a direction.
Exactly. It wasn't even necessary when all we had to do was communicate.
All we had to do was communicate.
That's it. It sounds so simple. It could
Oh,
all be so simple.
Ring, ring, ring. One of the things that I am realizing these days is that the simplest way of seeing this, men are really in their soft man era.
Yeah.
And men are really expressing themselves like a bit more and getting into the emotional.
I love it though.
No, it is beautiful. It really is beautiful to see.
I be jumping down women's backs when they be like, there's too much feelings. I was like, we complained for years.
Decades even.
Listen.
It's
about men not being showing emotions.
Yeah.
Or the only emotion they show is anger, and now we're getting them to actually talk, and you want to shut them down? You know all the feelings you got, bitch. They got them too.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's a new phenomenon for men to be expressive and emotional and stuff like that. So I think women are still trying to navigate and figure out like where do they land with like taking on these feelings, because we've asked for men to be expressive, but nobody's asked for people to understand men's expression, right? So it's just like, be expressive. Well, guess what? This is what I think about you, bitch. Well, I didn't tell you to express.
And it's like, whoa. Yeah. Don't express at me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So I think we need to ask for everybody to be more, have more expressive awareness, have more emotional intelligence in these spaces. Because, it's not. I'm not only expressing for myself. I'm expressing for all my ancestors of men that didn't get to speak or didn't have a voice, and that's why it comes out so explosive and so new. But yeah, with this new phenomenon of men being in their soft men era,
in real talk, women not that expressive either.
They're not. They like to act like they're
I told you I love to be devil's advocate. I can't ever. I'm like, on the other side of that, you kind of suck too.
Yo, women, I don't like to go in the whole back and forth with women because that's not what I do. But no, the emotional language I think is lacking on both sides, black men and black women. I mean, rightfully so. We already know the history of how things got to be where they are right now.
Absolutely.
But I want there to be more of an understanding that we're both lacking emotional intelligence and language, and not to just a finger pointing of, well, it's on the men.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the men being in the soft man era and expressing themselves more and being in this space, and you customizing your love and having no foundation so you can do whatever the fuck you want, how can, in your opinion, women handle love better?
Seek to understand. Actually want to understand. It's not about winning an argument. It's not about a happy wife, happy life. It is understand where your partner's coming from. Like, you don't understand why they made the decision they made, or why they cleaned in that order. Like, it could be something major, it could be something small. You may not understand why they thought to do what they did, but if you seek to understand who they are and what their thought process was, then it's like, how can I be upset with you? Yeah. Like, you actually thought, if motherfucker ain't thinking, that's different. But if you're able to show your work, basically show me how you got there, because I don't see it, I don't understand, and I want to understand where you're coming from. And like, it's been so many times where it's like, early in our relationship, I would like get upset about the end result and spend so much time, nitpicking at that and arguing over that once I finally got to the why he got there, and it's like, you know what? Fuck. I completely understand that. Yeah, makes sense. Like, thinking step about what I know of you, because I should be paying attention to who you are, because of what I know of you, I totally see why you got there. Right. Yep. It's not what I would have done. But I see how you got there.
Exactly. Helps
Good
out
on
a
you,
lot.
buddy.
Helps out a lot, right?
This was my thinking because I want him to also understand, like, why I don't understand, why I didn't understand it. But I gotta, like, own it.
That's what they mean when they say you gotta see the whole picture.
You gotta see the whole picture.
Look at us kids growing up and understanding.
Listen, but growing up is trash.
It is trash. Not with the smile face.
I don't like it here.
You saying I hate it and smiling very hard is hilarious.
Yes.
My gosh, I really, really do enjoy speaking to you, and I think that's another reason why I really feel full after I speak to you is because you listen to understand and you get it. Even the time when I came over and I was talking to you about how I was being petty, and you're like, "This is petty as hell," but I get it.
Yeah, it is. Like, I'm gonna call you out. Like,
oh, you already know you're being petty? Okay, all right, just go ahead and talk then.
This real silly, but this is your goal. And, love a man with a plan.
Yeah, I truly enjoy speaking to you, and I do want to hang out more. But it's hard to hang out with a girl that has a husband and a boyfriend. Listen, I was like, you got more than
I don't know
what
the
left.
fuck I was thinking, and now listen, I am waist deep, bitch. Listen,
You in it now?
In it.
I'm gonna have to kick these niggas to the side. Hey, make some space. Move. I'm coming in.
Oh, let
Got
me
a friendship
tell
coming.
you.
I know. It's going.
Even my daughter's like, look, you do not have room for any more relationships, okay? It's like, you're right. She was like, no new friends, no nothing. Don't do anything.
I know, but I want to hang out so bad. Fine.
Y'all barely made it.
Barely. I know.
I was like, my capacity for showing up is wearing thin. Y'all niggas barely made it.
That's why I just keep popping up to the house.
Right.
I'm going to see this woman one way or the other.
Listen.
Thank you, love.
Of course.
Thank you for pioneering this. I am really seeing the vision with having these conversations with women. Obviously, before I saw no point in talking to women. I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
I know that ain't true.
But honestly, speaking to you and having a bit more information on like where you came from and like how you get to where you are now, I'm really looking forward to talking to more women to understand their origin story. And I've been telling the men, but this is also that I can be a better husband to Mila.
Exactly.
This is really all this for. I'm doing all these episodes so I can understand people
and
more.
You should.
Yeah, and I can be a better husband than everybody else.
He's like, I'm about to make this husband shit look
easy.
That's cool.
Before we dip out of here, I want to stress this so much further because I don't want you to go. But before we get out of here, can you use this time to dedicate some love to someone, anybody that you would like?
Oh wow. I want to dedicate some love to my husband.
Aw.
He's been juggling a lot and learning, being much more expressive and sharing his feels, being more aware of what they are. But it's also coming hand in hand with just like a lot of changes, a lot. And so just love and appreciation to him. So this one's for you, kid.
That's beautiful because he ain't dedicating no love to you. He chose somebody else.
No, he said his tribe. Don't be doing my bad. I know what the fuck he said. I know what the fuck he said.
I love you, friend.
I love you too.
And I love our friendship. Thank you for getting me. And I get you too.
Yes. Hey, you guys, when I moved, he came over and put up shelves and cooked for me. It was great.
That's love.
Yes.
That's how I show my love.
Yes.
Yeah. If
that was so dope.
If I'm feeding you, I got nothing but
red
heart for you. Yeah, got nothing but love for you. Would you like to tell the people where they can find you and stuff like that?
Google me, baby.
Ooh.
Farren Moore. Just look up Farren Moore.
One of one. Oh, man. For us, we are Love Like This Lovecast. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's Hoochie Mom and Dad. Listen, honestly, if you look for WH_Orlando Roy or look for Mila_Map, Love Like This, or Hoochie Mom and Dad, all four of those are us. I'm Mila Map as well, and she's also... Listen, this has been great. I can't wait to do more of these. I actually need to sit down with more women.
Right.
Did you
Who
enjoy
else?
this?
You need some more? I
do.
Really. You need me to give you, especially for this topic, I can give you some recommendations.
Thank you. See, this is why you're the best. This is why she's the fucking best. Listen, later, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
La 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 like this.